imagine developing an application end to end, writing both server-side code as well as client-side code in a single programming language. Now, probably you saw that last time, but imagine doing that within one IDE and doing seamless debugging of both the server code as well as the client code. Well, that's exactly the experience that I'm going to show you. Here I have my Flash Builder open. I'm going to create a new kind of project that we call the Mega Project. Let me give it a name here very quickly, and let me finish that. And you see here, we've got a new application template, and what you see here is something new. We have introduced a new tag called server script here, and you can pretty much go and write any server code that you want here in your favorite language, action script here. So let me just show you something that I've already got here very quickly. This is again still a template. I'll get to the real application later on, but you can see here I've written a template code here to do some server-side computation here, and it takes an array and gives an integer, and I can actually call this function on the client. Now, as Flex developers, you know that when you call a function, when you call something like a server-side computation, you usually use asynchronous calls here, but look at what I've done here. I'm just saying result, which is an integer, call server-side code here, do compute, and I'm passing an array and I'm getting it. And guess what, even your server-side code can also have code hinting like this. Isn't that cool? Now, that's not where it has stopped. Now, what you have seen here is, I've not written any event handlers and things like that here. What we do is, at compile time, we actually do all the magic to set up the event handlers transparently so that you don't have to write any code like this, right? So, let me actually show you an application where I'm going to show you this code working here. So this is an application which I call TweetOrate. What it does is it essentially gets tweets from a public timeline based on a hashtag and rates these tweets, right? And what I've done is I've written the server-side logic for this in ActionScript here, and you can see here I'm actually executing SQL query in ActionScript here. Now, what we've done is we've got something like a built-in service into our cloud infrastructure here, which we call as data model, and I can execute any SQL query within this. Let me just go ahead and run this application in debug mode. Okay. What do you want me to search for? Max, okay. Now when I do that, you see that I hit a breakpoint, and this is my breakpoint on the button that you saw. It's the regular breakpoint that you would hit in any Flex application. I'm just going to go ahead and continue this and see what happens. Oops, I think I hit another breakpoint, but you see where this breakpoint is? This breakpoint is on the server-side code. It's server get tweets, right? And you see, I put breakpoints here, the client code and the server code, and you see all the variables here. And as I step through this, you can also see that my variable view also works seamlessly. So you can actually see both server-side variables and your client-side variables in the same debugger. And if you see here carefully, you see the server-side debugger active here. Okay, let me just go ahead and continue running this. And let's see how the application looks. So you can see here multiple threads on the server side. Each call, I'm calling it the rating function here. So let's see how this application looks. And you can see the rating being done here as each call gets executed. What this does is it essentially gets the keywords from a database and then compares the strings within your tweet and rates it. Now, after you do all of this, you can essentially go back, once you've tested your application and things like that, and you can go ahead and deploy it into the cloud. Now, that's the developer cloud experience that I wanted to show you. Thank you.
It's really fascinating to see some of the